quite as stout in her forerib and doesn't come out of the backside of her shoulder with near as much shape and dimension. She may be a little more tentative from her hock to the ground when we ask her to get out there and travel, but still there's some quality in that female. I like the center body in her. I like the long extended neck and front end that she's got. Quality female there that I think still got some future to her as you project her down the road. Heifer out of the second class, one that is a little different than those on either side of her. She's a little larger framed and longer body. To me, she's a little flatter in regards to muscle, has a little more navel to her, and she's not quite as stout constructed when you look at her foot and her bone work. She's not probably as muscular and as thick and as stout as any of the other three females out here, but certainly one that looks like just a typical Angus British type female. Got that look and balance and quality to her, sound on her feet and legs, and I think brings some positives to the table. Heifer out of class 3 is certainly the one of the three that gives you the most striking side view profile. She gives you some look and some balance and some quality. As I said before, maybe her old tail head sets up a little high and we'd set it down in her a little more naturally if we want to talk about ideals. Like that square hip that she's got, appreciate her soundness off her feet and legs, just like her balance and her look and her quality. And we talked about her in comparison to the heifer that was second behind her and that heifer that was second in that last class, so I told the young lady to bring her on out here. That one's different than any of the others also in terms of type and kind. She's thicker, she's stouter, she's more massive. Would fix her hind leg just a bit. She wants to hock in probably a bit more than ideal and wants to get up on her rear pasterns ever so slightly at times, but it's hard to ignore her thickness, her stoutness, and her power in comparison to some of the other cattle. Nice lineup of Angus heifers. It's these two out of class 3. You'll be champion, young lady, you'll be reserved. Congratulations.
Our champion Angus breeding heifer goes to Marley Phillips, and reserve goes to Kenzie Clark. We now have in the ring Josie Burke in class number 4.
Little belted Galloway heifer calf here in first class of the AOBs, and she's sure one that could have stood some competition. She's right in terms of her skeleton. She's got the right kind of rib and volume and mass to her. Again, I think that one's got some future to her when you project her down the road. Again, still got a little ways to go before we probably pass critical judgment on her, but I sure think she's got the pieces and parts to go the long haul. Let's give her a round of applause, and we'll see that little heifer calf again when we come back for a division or a breed drive.
Class 1, Josie Burke will be returning for our drive. Class 5, we're looking for Dylan Finley.
Single entry Baldy heifer here to come in and compete in the AOBs as a single entry. I like the depth of body she's got. I appreciate her length and her extension. Female that's got some neatness and attractiveness to her as well. Set her into motion. She's maybe a little iffy off of her hind legs. She maybe doesn't have quite the strength and security from her hock to the ground that we'd ideally like to see, but she does flex and go, and I think her angles are right. We'll see her again when she comes back for a championship drive. Let's give that young man a round of applause.
Dylan Finley will come back for our next drive in class 6. We're looking for Emily Whitt, Sydney Van Dieren, and Carter Brown.
Well, nice trio of cattle here. The young man brings us a purebred Simmental heifer out here to win the class, and this red female is pretty nice. She's the right kind in terms of skeletal design and look and balance. Like the way that she comes back and opens up with some forerib. She's got some thickness and some width to her as well, and she's sound on her feet and legs. Like the overall balance and look and quality you see in that female. The Hereford female in second just kind of gives up some power and shape and dimension to the heifer that wins the class. She's a little flatter in her upper rib. She's a little flatter and more nondescript in regards to muscle when you step right in behind her. Really long body, kind of loose in terms of her skeletons. She kind of wants to get easier and weaker in her top at times. We'd change that about her. But I do like her practicality and design. And again, it's one that I think just kind of overpowers and overwhelms the little mini Hereford there in second and third hole. Hard to run these minis against everybody else, but you got to put them in a class somewhere. And so, young lady, I think in a mini Hereford show, you'd sure get along a little bit better than you do against these bigger cattle. But, you know, she's not a bad miniature Hereford heifer. She's got some ribs, she's got some volume, she's got some balance. Just kind of gets overpowered and out-horsed out here with some bigger, stouter cattle. Let's give those exhibitors a big round of applause. Nice set of those AOB heifers.
Results on Class 6. First went to Carter Brown. Second, Emily Whitt. Third, Sydney Van Dieren. Returning will be Carter Brown. Class 7, we're looking for Laura Stemple and Carter Brown.
Another nice class of AOB heifers, and we start with a black Simmental heifer that kind of dominates the class in terms of pure quality, like the added substance and power and width that this female's got. To go along with that, she's still pretty sound and functional in terms of her skeletal design. Female there that's just loaded with volume and capacity, and she's sure got a lot of quality to her. I'm gonna be nitpicky, young man. You got her a little greasy for me. I might ease up just a little on that feed bucket so you don't get her too far cooked. She's just kind of right there on the edge of what I'd call acceptable in terms of condition. Not too fat, but she could get there real quick, so I might ease up on that. Just my advice, that's a good heifer. You study the young lady's black and white heifer that comes next. She just gives up too much in terms of pounds and performance. A female that's relatively sound in terms of her skeleton. She's got some femininity and angularity up front, but just doesn't have near the mass and width and cow power you see in that really stout female we lead off with. Nice pair of cattle. Let's give them a round of applause.
Results on Class 7. First place goes to Carter Brown, second to Laura Stemple. Returning now for the AOB Breeding Heifer Championship, we should have Josie Burke, Dylan Finley, and 2 entries by Carter Brown.
Good lineup of AOB heifers here. If we look at our little belted Galloway heifer that wins the first class, and honestly, her breed, she might be as good as any per her breed out here. I think that one's got tons of quality and future to her. Sound on her feet and legs, good hipped, good body, still got some look and some balance to her. Just probably maturity works against her out here in this lineup, but I do think that one's got some future to her as you project her down the road, especially within her breed. She's good stock. You study the Baldy heifer out of Class 2, and she's one that's got some quality to her as well. Love her length, like the way that she's got some length and extension up through her neck and her front end, maybe a little more excess throat, and a heifer there that I'd probably stouten up in the top side of her hip just a bit and strengthen her from her hock to the ground when you ask her to get out there and travel, but a nice black Baldy heifer. The heat in the division, to me, comes down to the red heifer and the black heifer that win respectively classes 3 and 4. Red heifer, neat looking and attractive, sound on her feet and legs. I sure think adequate in terms of her rib and her volume. Just a real complete heifer that I think brings plenty of positives to the table. Then you bring the black heifer in right behind her, and she just kind of overwhelms everybody in here in terms of cow power. That one's sure got the right kind of rib and volume and shape to her. Really like the big square hip that she's got. Appreciate her soundness on her feet and legs. Like the balance and look that she's got. Would make her a little leaner if we want to talk about ideals, but I do like that one quite a bit. She's going to be your champion, and the red heifer right in front of her going to be reserved. Congratulations, young man. Nice set of cattle.
In this division, your champions were exhibited on Carter Brown in first and Carter Brown in second. We now move into the crossbred breeding heifers. In this class, we have Lena C.
crossbred heifer here to start off that crossbred female show. This black baldy heifer's got some practical pieces and parts to her that you like for a brood cow. She's nice in her center rib. She's got the right kind of depth and dimension of body. She's pretty greasy in terms of condition. You probably want to melt some of that excess condition off of her. Getting a lot of big pones back there around her tail head, getting some fat in her udder and down in her chest. So again, that might be work against her as you project her down the road and try to make a breeding piece out of her. But again, I like her center body. She's fairly sound and functional in terms of her skeleton. We'll see her again when she comes back for a breed drive. Congratulations to this young lady. Let's give her a round of applause.
Returning for the drive will be Lena C. Getting first in this class, class 9, should have Aubrey Funk.
Nice brockle face heifer. Here's a single entry. I really like her length and her extension. Appreciate the fact that she's sound on her feet and legs, still pretty fresh in terms of condition. One that we could power up just a bit if we want to talk about ideals when you study her from behind and then study her center rib. But again, I like her length, I like her extension. Appreciate the fact that she's sound structured. We'll see her again here in a moment in our championship drive.
Aubrey will be returning back for our championship drive. We need to bring Lena C. back in, please, for our champion for crossbred breeding effort.
Nice pair of these crossbred commercial heifers. You look at the heifer out of class 1, and she's a little further along in terms of condition right now, and as we said before, we'd probably change that. She's one that's got some center body to her, but probably need just a little more look and balance and pizzazz out of her and a bit more skeletal correctness. The brockle face heifer comes out the second class as a single entry. Again, we like her length, her extension, probably like her femininity a bit better, but she certainly comes to us in a fresher package. Heifer out of class 2 will be our champion. The heifer right in front of her will be reserved. Congratulations.
And our crossbred breeding heifer champion, Aubrey Funk. Reserve champion, Lena C. Okay, now we have coming back in Marley Phillips, Carter Brown, and Aubrey Funk.
Let's put our hands together for these heifer exhibitors. Nice set of females. We don't have a ton of numbers, but we sure got some nice cattle to talk about and evaluate out here. Angus heifer that won the Angus division. We said the Angus division was probably the toughest division we had seen to that point of the entire show, and she wins the Angus division. Just a nice, practically made female there. She's sound on her feet and legs. She's neat looking. She's attractive, really fresh in terms of condition as well. Like the center body in that female. Not the stoutest or the most powerful one out here, but certainly for an Angus female, she's got enough width and dimension and power to her. And I really like the fact that she just gives you tons of balance and look and quality when you study her from the side. Young man Simmental heifer that wins the AOBs. She's got that added power and width and dimension we talk about. I love the center rib in that female. I like that big, wide, square hip that she's got. Also appreciate the fact that she's got just some extra width and punch and shape to her from end to end. She's a heifer that's got plenty of condition on her for me today, and I might melt a little of that excess condition off of her if we want to talk about ideals. She's maybe not quite as neat and attractive as you study her up through her neck and her front end and compare her to the Angus heifer, but sure, there's a lot of quality in that female. I love her volume and her capacity and just appreciate all the positives that she brings to the table. Brockle face heifer, you know, the crossbred division winner. She's one that not one to show real well out here, and she's just not one to cooperate. She's long and extended in her pattern. She's sound on her feet and legs. Just doesn't have quite the look and balance and pizzazz, nor the internal dimension and capacity that we see in those other two females. Just a word of caution, young lady. I know that maybe when cattle aren't acting right, the automatic reaction is to kind of slap on them and discipline them, but I'd caution you that we're always under fire in our animal industry about how we treat these critters. I'd be careful slapping on one as many times as you have today in the ring. And just think about your actions when you're in the show ring, because that never bodes well, especially if somebody's got a cell phone and they shoot a video of you doing it. It won't be well on the 6 o'clock news. So just a word of advice to you moving forward. Really nice heifers in these first two, and that's what it comes down to. And it's not an easy decision, because both of them are really good, and we've got a couple really good heifers to come back in. These two heifers to me are awfully close, and they're different in terms of their type and their kind. If I had to take one home and try to pay the bills with them, I think I'd take the Angus heifer. She's going to be your champion. Congratulations. bringing that reserve Angus, and we talked about she's got some intriguing pieces and parts. There's some good to that heifer. I love the center body. I like the added shape that she's got for that breed. Gets up on those pastures a little bit. She's a little cresty in comparison to some of the others, but still good stock. Easy decision for reserves. A young man, Simmental heifer out of the LOBs. Congratulations. Bring in that red heifer that was reserved in the AOBs, and again, get down between her and then the reserve Angus heifer, and I think that's a close decision as well. The red heifer's probably a little more neat and attractive and feminine in her makeup. I think probably a nickel sounder in terms of her hind leg and the way that she goes. Angus heifer's probably a notch deeper and bolder and more shapely in terms of muscle. So again, I think there's some trade-offs between those two. To me, I like the red heifer and her skeletal correctness. She'll be third. The Angus heifer will be fourth overall, and that leaves that one to be fifth. So I think that concludes our heifer show. Congratulations, guys.
In our overall for our championship on our breeding heifers, Marley Phillips was champion. Reserve champion is Carter Brown. Carter Brown was also third overall. Fourth overall was Tennessee Clark, and fifth overall was Aubrey Funk. I'd like to thank everyone for attending and being out here with us today. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock.
The Preston County Livestock Association is excited to welcome you to Kingwood, West Virginia, a historic town nestled in the Mountain State in the heart of Preston County. Uniquely situated, Preston County directly borders Pennsylvania, Maryland, and is a stone's throw from Ohio and Virginia. Our West Virginia county borders include Tucker, Monongalia, Taylor, and Barber counties. Appalachian Youth Livestock Showcase was established to give not only our local youth, but youth throughout the Appalachian region and beyond an opportunity to show their livestock. We are pleased to announce that our show arena will be indoors in the Craig Civic Center, which is a 11,000 square foot climate controlled facility located directly beside our fairgrounds and Kingwood Parks and Recreation public swimming pool. We have been working hard to provide a one-of-a-kind opportunity that you won't want to miss. A special thank you to all of our sponsors, volunteers, Kingwood Volunteer Fire Department, and Kingwood Parks and Recreation. Stay tuned for additional exciting updates and get registered today on the Showman app. We look forward to seeing you July 15th through the 17th for our first annual Appalachian Youth Livestock Showcase Jackpot Show. The Preston County Livestock Association is excited to welcome you to Kingwood, West Virginia, a historic town nestled in the Mountain State in the heart of Preston County. Uniquely situated, Preston County directly borders Pennsylvania, Maryland, and is a stone's throw from Ohio and Virginia. Our West Virginia county borders include Tucker, Monongalia, Taylor, and Barber counties. Appalachian Youth Livestock Showcase was established to give not only our local youth, but youth throughout the Appalachian region and beyond an opportunity to show their livestock. We are pleased to announce that our show arena will be indoors in the Craig Civic Center, which is a 11,000 square foot climate-controlled facility located directly beside our fairgrounds and Kingwood Parks and Recreation public swimming pool. We have been working hard to provide a one-of-a-kind opportunity that you won't want to miss. A special thank you to all of our sponsors, volunteers, Kingwood Volunteer Fire Department, and Kingwood Parks and Recreation. Stay tuned for additional exciting updates and get registered today on the Showman app. We look forward to seeing you July 15th through the 17th for our first annual Appalachian Youth Livestock Showcase Jackpot Show. The Preston County Livestock Association is excited to welcome you to Kingwood, West Virginia, a historic town nestled in the Mountain State in the heart of Preston County. Uniquely situated, Preston County directly borders Pennsylvania, Maryland, and is a stone's throw from Ohio and Virginia. Our West Virginia county borders include Tucker, Monongalia, Taylor, and Barber counties. Appalachian Youth Livestock Showcase was established to give not only our local youth, but youth throughout the Appalachian region and beyond an opportunity to show their livestock. We are pleased to announce that our show arena will be indoors in the Craig Civic Center, which is a 11,000 square foot climate-controlled facility located directly beside our fairgrounds and Kingwood Parks and Recreation public swimming pool. We have been working hard to provide a one-of-a-kind opportunity that you won't want to miss. A special thank you to all of our sponsors, volunteers, Kingwood Volunteer Fire Department, and Kingwood Parks and Recreation. Stay tuned for additional exciting updates and get registered today on the Showman app. We look forward to seeing you July 15th through the 17th for our first annual Appalachian Youth Livestock Showcase Jackpot Show. The Preston County Livestock Association is excited to welcome you to Kingwood, West Virginia, a historic town nestled in the Mountain State in the heart of Preston County. Uniquely situated, Preston County directly borders Pennsylvania, Maryland, and is a stone's throw from Ohio and Virginia. Our West Virginia county borders include Tucker, Monongalia, Taylor, and Barber counties. Appalachian Youth Livestock Showcase was established to give not only our local youth, but youth throughout the Appalachian region and beyond an opportunity to show their livestock. We are pleased to announce that our show arena will be indoors in the Craig Civic Center, which is a 11,000 square foot climate-controlled facility located directly beside our fairgrounds and Kingwood Parks and Recreation public swimming pool. We have been working hard to provide a one-of-a-kind opportunity that you won't want to miss. A special thank you to all of our sponsors, volunteers, Kingwood Volunteer Fire Department, and Kingwood Parks and Recreation. Stay tuned for additional exciting updates and get registered today on the Showman app. We look forward to seeing you July 15th through the 17th for our first annual Appalachian Youth Livestock Showcase Jackpot Show.